Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. Hope you're well. So in this race review, I'm going to be going over how I felt this shoe, the Puma Fast-R Nitro Elite 3, performed during a 10K that I raced at Hampton Court this Sunday. So in the review, I'll be going through what I liked about the shoe, what I didn't like so much about the shoe, how I think it performed during the race, how it helped me, aided me or didn't. And at the end of the review, I'm going to be telling you whether I think this is up there in my tier 1 racing shoe list. Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. Just arrived in time for my tube, 6:47 now, so it's pretty early. On my way to Hampton Court. Tube's coming in now, so you won't be able to hear me in a minute, but hopefully a good one today. Slept well and feeling good, and we'll see how it goes. I've got the Puma Fast-Rs on for the Hampton Court 10K, and we'll see if it's there as good as everyone's saying themselves. I want 3% efficiency today, right? Puma 3%. See you later. Bye bye.
They should. We don't even want to.
No, we've been there for good lunch though.
Yeah, we've been doing lots. Yeah, and because of all that, two runs I was on.
No.
We think it's that way.
Good job. It's amazing, isn't it? Wow. Such a nice day. It's a bit hot for anything. I do some stretches.
The runners come here for many different reasons, whether it be for getting a personal best, whether it be for charity or just to run with friends. Whatever you do, may I just wish all of you the most enjoyable day here. If you do get a chance, do come and look round my palace. It's my favourite out of the 50 I own. But most of all, enjoy my parkland. I've stopped the hunting for the day, so you'll all be safe. And when I see you all at the end, do come and show me your medals, because I'm sure each and every one of you will receive a medal today. So good luck and enjoy yourself.
Go on, Ed.
Well done, runners, you're doing great. It's a good start this morning. Yeah, let's dig things. Ready yourself, everybody. A few more meters to go, a few more moments to
Go on, Ed.
Then you can say that you did it. Hampton Court Palace, 10K in the bag. And a reminder that live timings are available via runthrough.com.
Right, so it's Ed from Runnable. I'm with one of my best mates, Sam. How are you, Sam?
I'm alright, thank you.
Right, so Sam, how long?
10k, feeling pretty good.
He hasn't. I've run 10k. Where's your medal, Sam? Where's your medal?
Oh, right.
And talking of medals, have a look at this. Is that not one of the best medals ever? Yeah. So, Sam, you've run this before, haven't you?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
What do you think?
Great, it's nice. By the river,
Yeah.
quite flat.
And you're local-ish to this area.
I live just over there, more or less.
Over there. What, in the river?
Well, actually, it's kind of that way.
Oh, right, okay. And how long have we known each other?
25 years?
Yeah, and when did we meet? Do you remember?
19...
No, where?
Oh, well, no, I don't remember that.
You do?
No, I don't.
The job
Sheffield,
centre.
Sheffield.
The job centre.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we started work. Did you not want people to know you worked at a job centre?
No, I don't mind, it's fine.
So yeah, we worked at a job centre helping people get jobs, didn't we?
We did.
And we did a
We're
very,
very good at it.
very
we were.
good job at that.
Yes.
And so that was our period of time when we gave a little back to the world, right? Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
then when we had a period of time where we took a lot from the world, right? Yeah.
Probably
And
true.
we went and lived in Balham
Yep.
for a bit. So those of you that know Balham, there's a pub called the Bedford.
Yep.
We're kind of round the corner from that, near the Tooting Common, even. Yeah,
that's right. Bedford Common.
the Tooting Common, the Balham end. Yeah. In a road called All Up Road,
No.
wasn't it? All Up. Anyway, it doesn't really matter about the road. The point was, it was a lad's house. We had fun. It was a bit of a ramshackled house, if I remember. There was like holes in the floor and stuff like that. But
Quite good value though. We had a spare room.
yeah, and we adopted a cat called Mimi.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, until the owner put a massive tag around its collar saying, "Please do not feed Mimi. Mimi's got an eating disorder." And we felt a bit guilty. Well, I did anyway.
Oh, she's nice, Mimi.
Yeah, and so and then I got with my wife Sarah, and I moved up to North London. So we saw each other not as much, but we did try and catch up. And running is one of those things that has meant we've stayed in contact. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
Ish.
so. Although we didn't run at the time.
No,
Oh, maybe I did. Did I run?
you did more than me, I think.
bit.
Yeah, I didn't at all. I didn't.
Tennis as well. We played tennis.
Yeah, tennis was our thing in those days, and we had tennis courts near us, didn't we, in Tooting Common. But yeah, running now. It's you've been injured, haven't you?
Still am.
Yeah. What's the injury?
Well, now it's plantar fasciitis.
Nightmare. Massage gun on your foot.
I've got one actually.
Yeah. Have you been using it on your foot?
A bit, yeah.
That I had something like that. I don't know if it was exactly that, and you just have to keep going with it. Don't do orthotics though, where you put the insert in your.
Oh, I did buy some of those.
No, don't do that. At least don't do it long term, because then your foot becomes reliant on it. Yeah, you should try not to use orthotics where you can. There you go. For anyone
Been
who's
playing tennis though, so that's what's aggravating it.
yes, yeah, and it's a nasty one, isn't it? When you get up in the morning, it's particularly sore.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, really painful.
Yeah.
Bobbled around
Yeah,
like an old
but
man.
a lot of runners. I'm sure a lot of people that watch the channel know all about plantar, right? And we're old. We're getting old. I'm now 52. You're 51.
45,
No, 51.
47.
No, 51.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he's 51. Might even be 52 soon. But anyway, regardless, it doesn't even matter because age is just a number, and I'm smashing it. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
I won my age category. I'm pretty sure. I think you were videoing. There weren't anyone older than me in front of me, was there?
No, definitely not.
No. Really strong field actually. I just got inside 36 minutes, so I did 35, 50 something.
I didn't actually see.
Yeah, I think I've just got inside. Which on a day like this, it's boiling hot. I'm absolutely delighted with. And the shoes, I should tell you the shoes, the Puma Fast Star Nitro Elite 3s, they were fabulous today actually. Really nice and bouncy. Not the best course for them actually, because a lot of it was on grass. And I felt like I wasn't engaging the plate so much because I needed a harder surface. But still pretty good. It's not the fastest 10k I'll ever do. It's just not, it's a lot of it's on grass and gravel and what have you, and it's so hot, but I'm not going to moan anymore. But the point is, shoes are really good, so I think they are a good 10k shoe, a good 5k shoe. I think they're going to be a good half marathon shoe, so I'm going to wear them next week at the Hackney Half, and then hopefully it won't be as hot as this, but I've got a feeling it will be. I think this weather's here to stay for a bit. But all in all, highly recommend the Hampton Court 10k if you want to come. There's only one race on today, so they make a big deal of it. Lots of people here enjoying themselves in the sun, and that's about it. So watch the footage, watch the rest of the footage. I didn't do any race footage, but Sam, you got
I've got 2 videos.
You got me. He recorded some of me finishing and halfway point. Yeah, and and just it'll give you an idea what it's like around here. So hopefully you'll be enthused to come and run it next year, because I tell you a funny story, but I won't tell you it now. I'll tell you it when we do the shoe review. I'm already booked in for 2026, Sam, aren't I?
Apparently,
Yeah. And but you have to watch the shoe review to find out how I'm so organised, because you know me, Sam. I was always very organised.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that's all from me, and that's all from you.
Hi everyone.
Bye bye. And oh, by the way, next time we do a video, a 10k, Sam's going to run it because he'll be over his injury. Yeah. And we'll do another episode of Ed and Sam, or Sam and Ed, live from Hampton Court. See you later. Bye bye. Yeah. And he's gonna. And he comes here as well, doesn't he? For theatre. I thought we had some theatre. Let's go through some very quick stats before we go on. So the shoe, I went up half a size. I would suggest you don't do that. I suggest you go true to size. It does taper in quite a lot at toe, so if you've got a wide foot, maybe you might go up half a size, but it does run quite long, this shoe. So just bear that in mind. Some other features around the shoe. So weight-wise, it's a super light shoe, 190 grams in my UK size 9.5. That's comparable with the Metaspeed Sky, and it's lighter than, say, the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. So it's very light shoe. It's got a traditional kind of 40mm stack height in the heel, 8mm drop, so 32 in the forefoot. it doesn't feel like an 8mm drop to me. I mean, I don't heel strike for a start, but when I do kind of land more flat in this shoe, so when I'm starting to tire a bit, maybe in a race, it doesn't feel like an 8mm drop. It feels lower than that to me. It feels more like 6. Maybe because this foam does compress quite a lot. I wouldn't say it's the softest of foam, but it does compress. You get a nice compression decompression. But we'll talk about the midsole in a minute. So that's the drop and the stack height. In terms of the upper, really, really lightweight engineered mesh upper. Just look at the tongue. I mean, it's the thinnest tongue. If you see there, look at that. It's the thinnest tongue I've ever seen on any shoe. Maybe the, I always refer to this one, but it's a China shoe that I've got called the Miro 361 degrees. That's maybe a similar kind of upper to this, because everything is kind of wafer thin, to quote a Monty Python film. For those who've seen The Meaning of Life, you'll know what I mean. But all in all, really nice upper. I had no issues with this during the race, actually. Despite being a bit long for me, held my foot in place really well. The tongue, although really thin, you do have a little bit of a pillow here. Doesn't come up long enough as far as I'm concerned. It should be a bit higher, but still, I didn't really have any lace bite. I mean, it's not my favourite part of the shoe, but it actually does its job. The heel collar and counter keep your ankle and foot in place really nicely. It's got like a semi-rigid counter at the back, which is fine. I didn't have any irritation whatsoever. So when I was really pushing it, during the race, I really didn't notice the shoe, the upper at all, actually, which is a really good sign. What I did notice, though, was I had got really good grip. So there was a lot of areas on gravel, a lot of areas on grass, and this performed really well, this Puma grip. It is not as grippy as previous iterations of this shoe. They've tried to reduce weight by getting rid of some of the lugs, but it still is grippy. So you'd be glad to hear that it's still a decent shoe in terms of traction. All in all, it may have not been the right choice for that race, but we'll talk about the race in a minute. But in terms of the actual grip and the outsole, it performed really well. The midsole, really nice and bouncy. So when I was running on the first bit of the race, it was along the Thames River near Hampton Court, and it was nice on a tarmac surface, nice and bouncy. This shoe performed really well. And the midsole, I think the midsole's great, actually. It's just the right level of softness, if you know what I mean. So it's not as soft as the Endorphin Elite 2 or the Adidas Pro 4. It's a little bit firmer than those shoes, but firm enough so that later on in races, you don't feel like it's bottoming out at all. Now, I've only run 10K race, so next weekend I'm planning to use this in the Hackney Half Marathon, so I get a better idea how it feels even further into a race, even further into mileage. But for me, this midsole stayed true throughout the whole of the 10K. It felt really good. Nice and, like I said, nice and bouncy, nice compression, decompression, always bouncing me forward. I didn't get the same kind of roll that I do off this shoe. This geometry is really rocketed in the Hoka CLX X1 2.0, and it really does kind of roll you forward, whereas this, it's more of a kind of bounce. You hit the ground hard, you get this nice compression, decompression and bounce, and a bit of a toe off. You get a lot more toe off in the Puma Faststyle Nitro Elite 3 than you do in the Hoka CLX 1 2.0. In some respects, it's more like the feeling you get in the A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris, that kind of nice engaging of the plate and that nice spring forward. But in this shoe, I think it's even more pronounced. And that's why I think during the race, it did definitely give me the Alpha Fly 1 vibes. And I've been saying this for a while. I think this is the closest shoe to the original Alphafly, and that includes the Alphafly 3 in terms of the feeling I got when running in this shoe. So if you liked the original Alphafly, I think you're going to like this shoe. Obviously, it's less mechanical because you haven't got the pods that you have in the Alphafly that feel, you know, until you get used to them, feels a little bit strange, a bit like crunchy almost. Whereas this, you've just got the foam. So this actually feels nice in some ways. It feels like a more natural ride, and that's weird calling this a natural ride because it isn't a natural ride kind of shoe, but just compared to the Alphafly 1. So let's talk a little bit about the race and the course and how this performs. So Hampton Court 10K, you start off in Hampton Court, surprisingly, and then you very soon you end up on the side of the River Thames. You run along for a good 3 or 4K, and it's lovely. That part of the course is absolutely fantastic. You get tiny, I mean, it was really hot yesterday, but you get a nice little breeze off the river. There's some shady areas because you've got trees that line that kind of stretch of the race. And for that 4K, I felt absolutely fantastic in this year. I was hitting the ground hard. I was gauging the plate. I was getting real nice compression, decompression, and I could feel the plate springing me forward. Very reminiscent of this shoe. And also the bounce I was getting reminded me, like I said, of the Alphafly 1. It was only when we hit the latter part of the half of the race, which is on some kind of marshland. It wasn't boggy because obviously it's very dry recently. It's all on gravel tracks or grass, where I started to engage the plate a bit less in this shoe. And at that point, I kind of wished I'd had the Hocker on my nice roll through, rather, because I was hitting this hard on the ground because it was on a softer ground. I wasn't getting the same propulsion that I did on, you know, the previous stretch of the race. So it was hard going for me that last 5K. It's not the shoe's fault. It's really hot. I think you'd naturally slow down because you're not running on tarmac, you're on grass or gravel. This performed well in terms of traction, but even with the nice rubber that you've got here, with the gravel, you still slip back a bit when you land. All in all, that bit was hard work. It isn't what I would class as a 10K PB kind of race. It's really flat, but the surface is what makes it a bit more challenging. I mean, you trail runners think, what's he complaining about, right? But if you're wearing a shoe for what you think is going to be a road race, and it starts off like a road race, and then it turns into more traily gravel tracks, it's really hard. It's almost like you want to change your shoe mid-race, and obviously that's not going to happen. So I think all in all, in terms of the race, this performed really well. It was just the surface maybe wasn't the right surface in the latter part of the race for this kind of shoe, and I'd probably have been better served with something which had a bit more of a geometry, roll through geometry, just to keep me flowing over, because I wasn't getting the same kind of impact from the plate. And I think this shoe, like with the Alphafly 1, is all about the impact you get through the foam, the compression, decompression, and engaging that plate, just like with the Sky Paris as well. So all in all, in terms of other things, right? So stability wise, there was a lot of cornering and, you know, not chicanes, but you know what I mean? Where you have to go back on yourself, tight corners and this was all in the latter part of the race. Again, it's not the best shoe for that. I think, actually the Sky Paris would have been better for that. It's a bit more of a nimble shoe. It still performed adequately well, but it's just not that kind of shoe, right? It's a shoe that you really want to just set and run forward in a straight line and keep bounding along. And as soon as you have to stop, turn and go again, you can't pick up the speed as quickly in this shoe as you can in something like this, the Sky Paris, or even the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. This is really effective on those long stretches. So like I said, for the first 3 or 4K, I was flying in this shoe. I was on for a PB. and it all went a bit pear-shaped when we hit the grassy areas and the gravel. But it's not the shoe's fault. This is not designed for those kind of races. This is designed for road races. So when I run the Hackney half of the weekend, I'll get a better idea about this shoe. But stability wise, I thought it was fine. It's not the most stable shoe. Going around corners, you do feel it a little bit, but I don't think it's a major issue. It's no worse than the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. Certainly no worse than this shoe. Probably a little bit more stable. Where we're going down the long stretches, fabulous. Less good on the grass and the gravel, but it did keep me bouncing along. But the heat really got to me as well during the race. So generally, I think really, really nice shoe. I'm not sure yet about the 3% efficiency. I have to do this run on on a proper road race to get that feeling whether this actually gives me that extra bit for running economy efficiency. But certainly it did a good job in challenging conditions at the weekend. And I think all in all, I think this is definitely a 10k shoe. I think maybe even more of a 10k shoe than a 5k shoe. I think it could be a really good half marathon shoe. One thing I would say though, at the end of the race, like a few hours later, I did feel my calves tightening a bit more than they would normally tighten. So I think this does have some impact on your calves. So you need strong calf muscles. If you're landing here and you're always putting some force on those calf muscles, it's bound to take it out of them a little bit. And with mine, I certainly felt them more than I do running in the Cielo X1 2.0, for instance. That's something to bear in mind. And my hamstrings feel a little bit tight today, but no worse than normal. So I think this will be fine for half marathon. For marathon, I don't know. I just don't know whether I can. I'm efficient enough, and I've got good enough running economy, good enough form to be able to take this to full marathon distance. I suspect I could, but I'm not entirely sure. So that's kind of my summary. In terms of the run-through event, Run-Through organised it really well. Fantastic event. I messed up at the start. I bought a last-minute ticket thinking it was for this year. And when I actually looked at the fine print, it was for next year's race. But they were kind and took pity on me, and I got an entry anyway. But there was a bit of kerfuffle at the start. I was a bit stressed. So anyway, I got my entry into the race thanks to Run-Through. It was a really well organised race, lots of marshals. I would say the only thing let it down, there was only one drink station. I think another one would have been better on this such a hot day. I guess they can't preempt how hot it's going to be, but just to have one drink station for that 10k, I felt like I really needed a really cold water to chuck on my head towards the end of that race. That was one thing. You have to understand as well, the start of the race is quite away from the event village. It's very hard logistically to hold something in Hampton Court and have everything really perfectly laid out. So for what they can do, Run-Do do an amazing job there, but it's never going to be that straightforward, having your start and finish close to the event village because of the logistics. They want you to channel you out of Hampton Court at the start, so you need to be near one of the exits. It's a big place. If you haven't been to Hampton Court, by the way, beautiful place, one of Henry VIII's famous places of residence. I'll put a bit in this about the history of Hampton Court for those never been there. I'm sure most of you know about it, but those that haven't, definitely go there. Even run a race there, for instance, run a run-through race there. They do a few throughout the years. They do half marathon actually there. That's one coming up, I think, or it may have just been, I can't remember. It might have been in March. They do a half marathon there, and they do a couple of 10Ks a year at least. And all in all, when you get lovely weather like that, it's a great place for spectators to come and enjoy the surroundings and cheer people on. And you'll see some race footage of me running, and there was quite a lot of nice support during the race. Towards the end, certainly. Not necessarily when you go out, out of the grounds of Hampton Court, but once you get back in, it was a really nice finish. So all in all, really liked it. It's not a PB course though. I just feel the ground is too uneven for the majority of the race. You're running on grass too much for you to get a PB unless you're a really good trail runner. And if you're a good trail runner, you'll find you'll think, what's Ed moaning about? It's absolutely fine. And the shoe, yeah, I think great shoe. Watch me next week though with the Hackney half. That'll give you more of an idea whether this has actually got real PB potential. I think it has. I liked what I felt in the first 4K of the race on Sunday. It felt really good on tarmac. You know, I was keeping up with the leaders at that point. I was in sort of 3rd or 4th place. By the end, I drifted back into 7th. Found it really hard going, but I don't think that's the shoe's fault, to be honest. It's maybe the wrong choice for that route, and also the heat and everything else just kind of got to me. I got to about 6K and just wanted it done, basically, and it was so nice to finish. So that's all I'll say today. Watch all the run footage if you've gone straight to this review. You know, it's an amazing place to look around. So just I've done my best to give you an idea of what Hampton Court feels like. And that's all I want to say today. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please, in the comments, put down any questions you want to know about this shoe, whether you're thinking of buying it, whether you've got it and you want to know, you know, what best places to run in it. That's all I want to say. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.